If you're looking at this here, we have a model and we'll be willing to help you out with this, but how do you price your services? It sounds like it would be complicated, but it's not. It's just you got to have the key. You got to do it right. It's very simple. It can be done in 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's going to take me a little bit longer than that to explain it, but it can be done very quickly once you know how. And so it's based on some basic principles that, again, I'm not going to go too deep into, but it's based on your variable expenses. One of the biggest variable expenses you have are your technician. How much an hour do I charge? Well, if I pay my technician $30 an hour, as in this example, I have payroll expenses. Payroll expenses is usually about 30% more. So if you pay somebody $30 an hour, they cost you $39. So what is your desired margin? Well, in the service world, not the install world, in the service world where I think that most of you are going to reside, but part of your businesses may be in the install. In the service department, you need about a 60-65% margin to be profitable, to be a going concern. A lot of people are doing 65% and more in the service world. Cleaning drains, replacing drain lines and sewer lines, fixing water heaters and pipes. Those things need a 65% gross margin. So if you have a plumber that costs you $39 an hour, that means you have to charge $111 an hour to get a 65% margin. Now these variables here in yellow can be changed if you want to do that. But the problem is you can't charge $111 an hour. Don't cut off the tape. Keep watching here for a second, because $111 an hour is not going to cut it. If you bill out 8 hours a day at $111 an hour, that means you need to collect $891 for that day. The problem is, if you pay your technician 8 hours, he does not collect 8 hours. He may go out, if he in the service world, and it depends on how you measure time, right? And there's some variable in this, but he may go out and only collect 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, but you're paying him for 8 hours. And so that ratio of how much does he collect versus how much do I pay, that's the labor efficiency. Now efficiency is how well do I utilize the resources that I have, such as gasoline? How efficient is your car? Well, a car is like efficiency is measured how many miles can I get out of that 1 gallon? If you have a plumber for a day and you're going to pay him for a day, how many miles can I get out of that plumber? Or how many dollars can I get out of that plumber? What's my average sale? So if I'm paying him 8 hours, but I'm only collecting 3.5, look at the bottom. That's our hourly rate now. We only have 3.5 hours to collect $891. That means for that 3.5 hours, I got to charge $254 an hour. I still need to have $891 if I'm going to keep that 65% margin. So here's that same spreadsheet that we were looking at, but this one here, I can actually manipulate the numbers if you need me to. But we're going to leave these numbers the same. Trust me, if you're charging $30 an hour, you need to know how many hours a day or a week or a month or a year your technician is collecting. That's a goal that ties it to your profit and loss statement. That's very important that you know how many hours you're collecting, not just how many hours you're paying. Those are two numbers that you have to have. Those two numbers help you calculate your hourly rate.